Hello, and thank you for listening to Monsters, Myths, and Mayhem. If you'd like to know more about our hosts, you can find them on the Twitch links in the description. We would love to talk to you live about our thoughts. Enjoy the show.
Hello and welcome to the Monsters, Myths, and Mayhem podcast. I am your host, Silver, and my co-host is...
Chaotic.
This week is episode 8, I believe?
I think so.
It's going to be the Moʻo. Have you ever heard of the Moʻo?
No, but I am certainly intrigued.
It's kind of spelled moo, but it has the punctuation mark called an okina that's in Hawaiian culture. Hawaiian writing, literature, over top of it.
Interesting. I mean, you had enough spelling errors of moo for me to assume it was not exactly moo in our messages.
Some places, looking up, they spelled it M-O-K-O, like Muko. I think the one I like is the Moʻo. The Moʻo is a nature spirit, kind of nature dragon god from Hawaiian mythology.
I don't know a whole lot of Hawaiian mythology, so it's interesting to learn.
Just from the notes I've seen in different sites, they are gigantic dragon-like water lizard deities. That's their true form, but they can shapeshift into the form of people. Usually the form they take is redheaded women, is their preferred shape from what I've seen.
It would be redheads.
Mainly because red hair was not very common in the Hawaiian Polynesian lineage.
Understandable.
They are guardians of water. They have dominion over dreams at night and storytelling during the day. A couple other powers I've seen they had is the power to reanimate the dead, which I only seen that in one source. And they serve as personal guardians for specific families and lineages. They are considered part of the family. Kind of be like an ancestral spirit.
So like a Mushu?
Yeah, like a Mushu from, I just blanked on the Disney title.
Mulan?
Mulan. I guess maybe Disney has a movie called Mushu as well.
But do they so you said it was like ancestral to them? Like familial, but ancestral as well? Like they just thought it was like a passed down from family, or was it just like a godlike thing?
I think it's more of like the guardian spirit guardian spirit watches over that family and its lineage, the kids
like
and such.
To a certain family.
Yeah.
So not okay. All right. Okay.
Because I think in more Hawaiian mythology, each family has their own guardian spirit, from what I read. So they can be an owl, it can be the dragon. Those are only two I remember off the top of my head, but I think they can go differently. Different animals per family.
Okay.
And they're usually in one of Hawaii's natural pools is usually where they reside. So if your family's probably lives next to one of those, you're more likely to be in contact with them more.
I gotcha.
They say that when you're at one of these natural pools and you drop a flower or a branch in the water before you go into it, and the branch gets swept away, that means there's a Moʻo there, and he does not want you getting in the water. He wants you to go somewhere else.
Oh my.
Because they could probably drown you, which they have in several different stories.
Lovely.
Some other powers, my notes I've seen they had, is they have the supernatural power to control weather, ensuring the island has plentiful water and fruitful harvest. If you anger them, they will whip up killer waves or sweep the target of their wrath off a steep cliff to their death.
Okay.
Oh, here in my notes, they are spirit creatures. Answers my question I had to myself earlier, I guess. They actually have some named Moʻos. They're kind of hard for me to pronounce. Oh, and when Moʻo die, which they can die mainly from another god's hands, their bodies turn into natural landforms, and you can actually see them in Hawaii. There's a Kamala Ridge, or Molokin Ridge, the Cinder Cone, Uluaha Ray, some of the landforms, which they kind of shaped like the gecko. Their symbol. You've seen Hawaiian tattoos, right?
Yes.
And the one with the lizard, kind of.
Yes.
Hey, that's a Mo'o.
Ooh, okay. All right. I keep thinking of Tafiti from Moana and how like Teka was Tafiti and the island was shaped like her, like the curves of the hips and stuff. It
Yeah,
was like shaped like like what you're talking about. I thought that was neat.
yeah. Hawaiian spirits have a lot to do with the land and nature. Just kind of how I stumbled onto the Mo'o. I was looking for the creature that has to do with nature because we haven't really done anything nature based besides the Thunderbird.
True. True.
There's some stories with the Mo'o. One, I'll just say the one I like the most. I'll tell it here. Just a short rendition, best I can remember it. It involves Pele, which is the goddess of lava,
Pretty sure.
and Hi'iaka, which is Pele's younger sister, who Pele carried across from Tahiti in an egg.
Ooh.
He, and Hi'iaka was in a lot of these stories and slain a lot of the Mo'o. She was somewhat of a dragon killer.
It's so neat to see all the different like mythologies and how they have similarities but such differences in the way they view them.
Which other mythology you think are similar to this one?
You were talking about like dragon slaying and stuff, and I just went to like how we just talked about Greek mythology and like their slaying of monsters and how they saw like monsters and like godlike creatures as like threats and like terrifying, and they always have like some gory, horror, scary nature to them. And Hawaiian mythology, even though you're explaining that they can be slain and that they're monsters, they're still beautified or pieces of land or sacred, or it's just different. It's just different to see the way that the different I don't know the word I'm looking for, like legends from different cultures, just how they get portrayed and viewed each different one.
How the cultures see the monsters as either good or evil, and then
Right, like
as the
even if
gods see them too as good or evil.
right, and even if like the Hawaiians thought they were evil, they still are for the most part in most of theirs it's a piece of history, it's a piece of land or myth or the volcanoes or the lava or the they have an essential role, and in Greek they were just like this dude fucked this shit up
Yeah,
and that was it. Like this guy was a bad guy, but we have a temple for him. So, but it's just different.
like the Greeks, their monsters were bad.
Right.
They're bad. Like the Mo'o, there are good Mo'os and there are bad Mo'os. Some high ranking Mo'os. They got
Ooh.
different ranks and such. Yeah, like Mo'o Inan Inanea Inania Inania Mo'o Inania. Mo'o Inaria's name is sometimes interpreted as a self-reliant dragon. She raised the primordial woman, Hina, and introduced her to Ku, arranging their marriage. She then traveled to Hawaii with them. Mo'o in Narnia. I am sorry for all these mispronunciations.
The
I am
butchering.
is among the highest ranking Mo'o. A clay pit on Oahu is among the places Mo'o Inaria calls home. So that Mo'o, she raised the primordial woman and introduced her to her husband, which I'm guessing Ku and Hina are like Hawaiians' mythology of Adam and Eve. So that would be a good thing, I imagine.
Interesting.
One of the dragons used to live in Iwa Lagoon, which is now Pearl Harbor, and that Mo'o's name was Kanekuaana, who is said to have brought oysters to Iwa, to Hawaii, that island. And there was worshipped by those who gathered shellfish, and the oysters began to disappear by 1850. And the natives thought that the dragon had become angry and was sending the oysters to Kahiki or some other faraway land. Red oysters took oysters away.
No, it's just for you.
Those are some of the other examples. the story I was going to tell that involves Hi'iaka and Pele and three Mo'os. Guess I'll just tell it now. So Pele decided to take a nap, and her spirit left her body and formed this mortal body. So she went down this village and started partying it up and fell in love with Chief Lauhai, Lohiau, Lohiau, who was the high chief of the village, and he fell in love with her. And a couple days went by. Iaka ended up waking Pele up because it's been so long. Pele went back to her body and just disappeared from the village. So she then sent Iaka to go down and bring the man that she loved to Pele, because Pele, I guess, couldn't leave the mountain for some reason. And Iaka went down to the village, was looking around for Chief Lohiau. Sorry for all these butchering of names. I am.
We are not professionals.
Yes. She heard from the other locals that the chief had been kidnapped by 3 Mo'os, Kilieu, Koe, and Miloli, which are the dragons mentioned earlier a little bit, and was taken to their cave. So Hi'iaka went and told Pele this. So Pele is like, Hi'iaka, you must go bring this man back. If you do not return within, I think it was 40, it was either 40 hours or 40 days. If you do not return within, I'll just say 40 days because it'd be a long trip maybe. If you do not return within these 40 days, I will kill your best friend, or no, I will destroy your forest that you have grown on this mountain, your flower gardens. Because Iaka went with someone else, which I believe was one of Pele's attendants of sorts. And they made it to this ridge, and they had to cross this large kind of canyon type deal. They had to cross there, but there's no way to go. And suddenly, Pele's attendant found a plank that crossed this large gap and started to walk across it. That's when Hi'iaka noticed that this wasn't a board. This was a Mo'o's tongue.
Oh, shit.
So Hi'iaka warned her attendant and decided to fly across the canyon instead with her magic hula skirt. But when Hi'iaka got over there, she ended up slaying the Mo'os and found the cave that Chief Lauhai was in. But Chief Lauhai was already dead. Hi'iaka had the power to bring him back to life, so she went to the spirit world, found him, brought him back to life. By this time, her 40 days had been up. So Pele killed her garden and her best friend, Hi'iaka's best friend.
Holy crap.
And by the time Hi'iaka got back with Chief Lauhai to the mountain and seen all this, she just decided, because she did not touch Chief Lauhai besides bringing him back. So, oh no, that's what it was. She would destroy, Haley said she would destroy the garden and her best friend if she didn't make it back in time and if she touched Chief Lauhai. But she did not. But by the time they got back to the Haley, and seen that all this was already done, Hi'iaka just started making love to Chief Lauhai right there in front of Pele.
Oh my god, the amount of tea in this mythology right now.
This is actually a shortened version. It is actually a longer version.
Oh my Todd.
And Pele, seeing this, gets mad and kills Chief Lauhai, but could not.
I can't say I wouldn't do the same.
Because she could not kill Hi'iaka because she was another god. Hi'iaka digs out her best friend and Chief Lauhai and brings them both back to life again. So this man's been dead twice. Brought back. That's about where the end of the story was that I seen. That I can remember.
Oh my god.
But that has the Mo'os in it for capturing Chief Lauhai. And death revival. Yeah. And they said that Hi'iaka's friend some of the stories said Hi'iaka's best friend that was killed was also her lover.
This is some crazy tea.
That's in some versions of it. I figured you'd like that story.
Yeah, that's some tea.
Some tea, some pineapple juice. I don't know if
I
Hawaii
don't know
has
about
pineapples.
pineapple juice, but it's definitely some tea.
Couldn't really find any tales of the Mo'o inside media besides Pokemon.
Pokemon.
Yeah, the Pokemon Jang Mo'o, and he evolves into Haka Mo'o, who evolves into Komo Mo'o. They have just dashes after the second O instead of the uh, Okina, because they probably just didn't have the symbol. But they come from the Sun and Moon Pokemon line generation, which bases in Hawaii, which I thought was a neat little thing they put in there. And they're also semi-mythical Pokemon. They're dragon fighting. They're not water though.
So I kind of been doing like brief looking to see if I could see anything. And like you said, there's not a whole lot on them. But yeah, so like I looked and like you said, there's not a whole lot on it, which Hawaiian mythology, there's not a whole lot on anyways. They make a lot more books and like probably more like on the island information about stuff like that. Just because they are a little bit more of a sacred culture. But yeah, they do. They just the Hawaiian culture itself, it's really neat. I don't know anything about the Mo'os.
Yeah.
I don't know anything specific about them, but I think it's a really neat. You just have to apologize for the baby in the background. Just at the beginning of the episode, just be like, to be warned, there is a child that won't stop screaming in the background. But yeah, I just think the culture on its own is really neat. I'm done. I give up with life. Why am I even here?
Because you want to be. It's not like I'm forcing you.
wanna
Don't
be
have you locked in the
recording.
basement.
No, I want to be recording for sure. Nothing else wants me to be recording. Nothing. Not a single soul in this house. Moving on to the mayhem.
Let's move on to the mayhem. I forgot to mention, these things are only about 13 to 30 feet long is what I've seen. I'm not sure if that's an accurate description, but it is still well sized.
Well, I was going to say, we talked about bigger and scarier. So, I mean, still pretty good size, but not like crazy.
Still got some special powers, though. It can throw its weight around with.
True. I mean, it's sketchy either way. I mean, obviously, like it seduces men and kills them twice and brings them back to life. So, like, who knows?
Well, the Mo'o wasn't the one that brought him back to life, or that was Hiaka and Pele that did all that. The Mo'os just captured him,
right. But like them capturing them essentially led to that.
Yeah, they're instigators or they're guardians. Depends on which one you find, because they do sound very intelligent for what they are. Well, dragons are intelligent in most instances.
Yeah.
I don't think they would be initially prone to chaos. Maybe just capturing high chiefs, but they might have done that because they seen that Pele was interested in him, or if you just cross them.
Is it like resident to Hawaii? Like, would we have to deal with it other places?
Yeah, I'd say being a guardian spirit, I think that it would only be found in Hawaii, because that Hawaiian's natural springs and stuff. But they did say that it came from. They kept mentioning Tahiti, but this was back before Tahiti was the actual place known.
Right. So just like between the islands.
Yeah. And I think there's even some mention of them in New Zealand.
Okay.
Which just a Polynesian culture.
Right. Just following out around the culture. So with that being said, who's to say that they aren't still already there water guarding it?
I mean, this probably could be. There's a lot of.
But do you think they're causing much mayhem doing so?
Probably not yet. Probably not. Unless you count any of the surfer deaths or anything like that.
Well, I'm going to be fair and say that I think that the culture and the people within it that understand it would have better luck of dealing with said mayhem from them than any of us would.
I don't know if you'd actually be able to do anything either with them being spirit guardians, spirit creatures. Because anything physical, I don't think would work.
Well, I meant more so in the way of like
living with the mayhem.
Right, like every day-to-day existing with them.
Yeah, I'd imagine they'd be more known to the traditions to keep them on the better side.
Right. And no, like with the water trick with the stick.
Yep, I did see that in my notes at the very bottom. They sometimes accept offerings and permitted safe passage across because there's there's a river, Wailuku, the Wailuku River near Helio, and there's something called the moving boards, which made a bridge across this river. And if you gave an offering to the Mo'o, they'd let you pass. And sometimes they'd let you pass, sometimes they'd just tip you off the boards.
Okay. So it's kind of like a pay the troll ordeal. Like you may or may not
Yeah,
be able to make it over said bridge when you pay the troll. Like he's going to ask you for the money and you can pay it. Whether or not he'll actually let you over is a different story. It's the same thing with spirit guardian. You give them an offering. They're like,
yep.
yeah, I accept your offering. Like it's a good offering. Sure. And then they decide halfway through that the offering's not great. And they're just like,
I think the main good ones are the ones that are attached to the family as spirit guardians.
right, right, right.
My notes also say that those ones for the river were also destroyed by Hiyaka. So she must have just went on a trip.
She was just upset.
Yeah, but they'd probably be more, like you were saying before, more used to the traditions to appease them. Not really much mayhem with these guys, unless they whip up they'd bring a storm to help crops and such. So I'd consider these guys more helpful than harmful. Kinda. It's there at the gray area.
I found another story.
Okay.
I don't know if you told this one or not.
Not sure either. I can't see it.
Kalamenu. So basically, fishermen looking to catch Hinalia, I'm guessing is the name. In Waialuau, Oahu, call upon the spirit of Kalameanu. This Mo'o, according to storytellers, fell in love with a young chief while surfing. After she married him, her cousins Hanela and Ekiololo disclosed her true identity, then turned into fish and disappeared down a crack in the seafloor. So Kalamianu cleverly snared her betrayers with a woven trap, and now to this day she'll supposedly fill the traps, the fish of traps. Oh my God, fill the fish traps of those who will ask because of their betrayal and snaring them. In many stories, when a Mo'o is slain, its body becomes part of the landscape, which you already said. They do actually have a Mo'o gecko breed that's like an actual breed of gecko there that is rare and has like certain qualities and stuff to it that kind of reflect the spirit guardians. The word Mo'o is strung into a couple of different other words in their language. There's a Mo'o Leo. Lelo? Did you already say that?
Is that the one that means myth? I didn't
turn it
say
off.
it.
Oh, you didn't say it out loud.
I don't think so.
So a Mo'o Lelo is a story or progression of words strung like a vertebrae along a chord of meaning. And then there's a Mo'o Keawu. Keawu. I'm so bad at this. The word for genealogy in their language, which suggests that Hawaiians viewed the lizard's interlocking bones as a symbolic notion of their own sacred lineage. Ooh, on the Chinese calendar in 2012, it was the year of the water dragon, and it was said in Hawaiian stories that it would be the year that they would reemerge. So maybe next water dragon year, we might have some new stories.
Maybe. Did anything happen in 2010 water-wise?
2012 was supposed to be the big end of the earth tsunami thing.
Yeah.
So maybe we had a protector in Hawaii that helped us all out.
Possibly. They stopped.
Things.
They made everything not flood.
So we never know. Pretty neat to look at, though.
Yeah.
I'm looking at Noah Kawe. It's a Maui magazine. It's pretty neat.
MauiMagazine.net/sacred, the sacred spine.
Perhaps. I clicked back.
Oh.
But perhaps.
That's why I got some information from too. The Maui Magazine is a good place for people to go.
It's very neat. Very neat.
Oh, I also heard about this Mo'os in several podcasts. The one that I liked the best retelling of it was the Coffee Table Mythos. They had a really good retelling of the Mo'o story as well. and
That's
information
lengthy.
about it. Yep.
Looking at all of this Mo'o stuff, I see a lot of this shark man
Shark Man.
myth of theirs. Hang on.
This is the first time I'm hearing about this.
Ancient Hawaiian mythology speaks of a shark man named Naue. Nanaue. Nanaue was the son of the shark king Kamoahale, and a Hawaiian maiden named Kali. We should look into that sometime.
We can add it to our list.
Apparently, he's a big legend, and apparently, the Mo'os have met him and spoken to him before. It's like a relationship between him and the Guardians. So we'll have to see. I'd say mayhem wise, they're like middle ground. Like they could be crazy, but they're like obviously they know they're awesome and they're just like we're here. Like I feel like they cause chaos when they need to, or like if it's been a long time, but they don't seem like something we'd have to like fight off of the military or something. They're no Tarask.
I think that we could easily cohabitate with them.
I agree. I feel like we could give them their space. I mean, all they want is permission to get in the water. So like
and to keep all their natural land clean and
don't touch their shit, don't pollute, the general. I feel like that's something we should respect anyways.
Oh, I did see one of the temples for the Mo'o back in the lineage is being excavated. So we'll have to see there. And they say that the Mo'o's original pond is still intact underneath all the new construction. They're trying to bring the old construction back out.
People know that's how you get haunted, right? Like people understand that. Or do people just continue to do these things and they're just like, oh, we're not going to release mummies and monsters and myths and legends and spirits and water guardians?
We'll have to wait and see once they're done. I think they were still working on excavating it last time I seen, so we'll have to see if they bring something upon us.
If any of our viewers are in here and you guys ever think, hey, that looks like a weird house, let's go uncover that. Or hey, this is a cemetery, let's build on it. Don't. Do me a favor and don't do it. Just don't do it. Don't uncover tombs. Don't release spirits. Don't do the things. Leave them alone. Let them be. Okay? Okay. Glad we're in that understanding. Join us again next Monday on Monsters, Myths, and Mayhem, found on Apple Podcast, iHeartRadio, Spotify, and Anchor.fm/Monsters, Myths, Mayhem. Silver and Chaotic talk about how monsters and myths came to be and how they would be received in modern-day society. Follow, like, and subscribe to support. Also find the podcast on Twitter and Discord with the links below to keep up with the newest merch and activity. Besides, who knows what mayhem we will get into next.